Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode in Software Engineering and Salesforce. And today we're going to do a little more LeetCode. We're going to follow up with our last video on what I called the frequency counter pattern, but really just, using a map, using hashing to have a data structure that gives us that constant time insertion and retrieval. So we're going to use LeetCode to practice that a little bit, solve some of these problems. And I thought we would, because I think there's not enough DSA stuff out there in Apex. And some of you might be quite happy that there's no LeetCode in Apex, but I think LeetCode can be a useful way to study problems. I think it's helped make me a little bit better problem solver at this point. So we're going to do LeetCode 1, TwoSum. This is the most popular question on LeetCode. If we go down here to companies, right, you can see, like, boom, super popular. Asked in interviews all the time. So let's talk about, here's our question. We're going to get an array of integers, nums, and an integer target. And we need to return the indices of two numbers such that they add up to the target. And there's our conditions. You may assume that the input will have one solution, and we can't use the same element twice. And we can return in any order. So yes, I'm going to start off. We could brute force this. There's nothing in the conditions here about like it has to have a certain runtime. But we're just, so yeah, maybe in an interview we want to talk about, we could do, a nested for loop. We could brute force it this way. But that's not what your interviewer is ever asking for, really, unless that's all you can come up with, and then it's okay. And also, it's not the solution, right? I mean, for this YouTube channel, right, we want to see how can we write the most efficient code possible. And that is, again, it's going to involve a map. So what we're going to do is switch over from LeetCode. Let's open up IntelliJ. And we can't do this in the LeetCode editor because it doesn't support Apex. Because, right, it like belongs to Mark Benioff. So I've just gone ahead and I've created a little method here, right? Public static integer TwoSum. We've got a list, takes a list of integers and an integer target. And just up here in the comments, so we had it for a reference, I put kind of the sample problem set. Right? So we're going to work with this array with values of 2, 7, 11, 15, and we're looking for a target of 9. So for our problem, the first thing I'm going to, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to create a map. Integer values equals new map. All right. And now what we're going to do, so we got our map, and that's going to be the thing we're going to use to solve this problem, really. We need to just do a normal old everyday for loop and iterate over our we're going to iterate over our list of values. All right, there we go. And so what we're going to do here, so here's the trick to this problem. And I kind of want to start off by saying that, like, I don't think it's, first of all, I want to say it's a LeetCode easy. We don't want that. I'm going to change this to change that name to a complement map. And this will maybe make sense in a second. So let's just talk about LeetCode for a second. And easy in the context of LeetCode is not necessarily very easy, particularly if the acceptance rate starts to drop down, I don't know, below 60%. This was a really tough problem for me the first time I saw it. So take that with a grain of salt when you log into LeetCode and you're like, oh my God, I can't solve any of the easy problems. I think almost anybody that does this for practice has been there. And eventually you start to recognize patterns and ways to do things. And I think it becomes useful. So this one takes a little bit of a math trick that I didn't get the first time I saw this problem. So we want to look, right, two numbers that add up to 9. So the first time we're going to go through this array, right, our index, the ith nums at, I would say nums, values at index 0 is 2. So we know, so 9 minus 2 equals 7, right? So we know if we find a 7 if there's a 7 anywhere else, we can use that. We found our index and we can return that. So that's how we're going to save kind of like the next thing that we're looking for. So what I'm going to do is we are going to say if our map contains key, and it's going to be values I. If it contains that key, what this actually means is we found our answer. And this will probably make a little more sense. Just bear with me when we actually work through like the rest of this if statement. All right, hey, sorry, my phone rang there. So I'm going to have to roll back a little to edit some of this out if it's a little jerky. But we are right here in our for loop. And we're going to say if the map has the key values I. So the first time we're going to go through and we'll just say, hey, do you have a 2? Right? Hey, complement map, do you have a 2? And if the map has that key, right, which in this case it does not, we are just going to return. We found our answer. And this will make sense, actually more sense once I finish the next leg of this, if statement. Get. I want to get the values. We're going to get the what we have at the at I there, and we want to return I. That is the next index that had our answer. Now let's go down here to our else leg, and we're going to say first. I'm just going to say int complement. Could do this in one line, but just to make the video clear, we're going to say target minus nums I. All right. So in this case, right, we are at 0. Right? We went down into this leg, and it's not integer, it's integer. Complement equals target minus values I, right? In this case, so that would equal a 7, right? So what we're going to do, we are going to go into our map, and we are going to complement map dot put, and we are going to put the value of the complement and the index that it's at. So we are saying that 2 minus 9 equals 7. So we're saying that basically we're saying like later on, if we find something that will work with a 7 that would also give us the 9, it is at index I, right? So let's go back. So we've got, this is what our map looks like right now, right? We've got 9 plus 2 equals 7. So our map has a 7. Let's comment that out. Map has a 7. Stop it. Map has a 7 mapped to 0. All right. Now we're going to go through again. Our next value at index 1 is a 7. So we go down. So remember that we have a 7 in our map, right? Because 7 plus the value at index 2 equals 9. So we go down here, we go complement map. If complement map contains key values I, which is 7. And that's true because we put that in the first time. We got the complement 9 minus 2 equals 7. So that was you're saying like, here's the next thing we need to look for. And it's index. So now all we have to do is return the index of the first value in our map and the index at I. And that's it. We have solved this problem. And because we can't, you know what else? And it's, I know Apex, you know what? Because we can't do this, what I'm going to try to do for this problem, just got rid of a curly brace by accident, is just go ahead. I'm going to just try to copy and paste it and put it directly into LeetCode. All right, so now to test this, let's just take this and I'm going to see if I can just drop this actually into LeetCode and just do the little bit of conversion I would need to do to get it into from Apex to Java. Control C. Boom. Control V. All right, values. Let's see, map new. All right, that's got to be a hash map. And I'm going to comment this out right here, because for this problem in Java, we have to return an array, not a list. Return new int. All right, and then it should just be able to actually copy and paste that right out. Let's just throw it. Otherwise, we're going to return a null. There we go. Accepted. Let's submit it. See, I've done that one a few times. I don't know, 3 milliseconds. All right, so that's it. That is the LeetCode number 1, TwoSum. We did it in Apex, converted it over to Java. Hope this is helpful, and we'll keep doing some more of these. Take care. I'll see everybody in the next one.